Hello my fellow aliens, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jojo Rarity, and today I'll be talking about what I watched in January. So if you've kind of been following me for a while, I've been doing this kind of series that I talk about the movies that I watch in every month. Like the last time I did it was in November, because in December, let's face it, I only watched Christmas movies, so I didn't want to include this here. So yeah, also I've been going for a niche here. If you notice, I've been doing a lot of movies and TV series kind of content because that's what I'm here for. That's what I kind of enjoy doing. And also I can't do any vlogs also because I'm always stuck at home and we're in lockdown. I did vlogs of course in Christmas time and Halloween. Of course I'm gonna do maybe vlogs in between, but mostly now I'm gonna be looking for a real niche, and it's gonna be like movies because I really enjoy doing this kind of content. Hope you also enjoy this kind of content. I mean, who doesn't like movies and TV series, right? So hope you keep updated, hope you keep supporting this, and let's get on with the video. So first of all, I watched like 5 TV shows. So I'm gonna be talking about the 5 shows first, then comes the movies. The first TV show I wanna talk about is Once Upon a Time. It's a rewatch because I already watched the show multiple times, but it's like one of my favorite TV shows of all time. That's why I always like to rewatch it once in a while. And like I finished the series like this year. I mean, I finished season 6. I didn't finish season 7 yet because season 7 is like not that good anymore. If you know the show, you know what I mean. And I started like last year in March and just finished it now. It's kind of long, but it's about this troubled young woman who's like attracted by this town. It's because of her son, who arrives at her doorstep and then telling her he's her son, and he's telling her that she's a savior. And he's telling her also that the fairy tales are real actually. And of course she doesn't believe it because she thinks this kid is nuts. Like, what is he talking about? Suddenly he comes out of nowhere into her home and telling her he's her son and all the fairy tales are real. Come on. But then she decides to check it out. She goes to this town called Storybrooke, and it's in Maine. And then her son tells that she's a savior and she's the one who's gonna break the curse they are in. This is so cool because like, if you're a Disney fan, if you're a fairy tale fan, this show is for you because all the Disney characters you love are gonna be in the show, which is so cool. And it's also always with a twist. Like sometimes even the good ones that are bad or the bad ones are good suddenly in this show, because you never know what to expect in the show. It's like always so many twists going on. It's just so interesting for me. So yeah, go check it out if you didn't. So the next show on my list is Star Trek Discovery season 3 that I finished this year because the finale was this year, and it started like in November I think, and then it finished like because I talked about it in what I watched in November, and now it's finished. I think Star Trek is kind of a Netflix original show because I think they also showed in America, they showed on TV. And that's why it's not like a binge watch show. It's like you need to wait every Friday there's a new episode coming out. Since I don't want to be spoiling anything, I'm just going to talk about what the show is about. It's about Starfleet. They are like on a mission. And of course, if you know the movies, it's based like on the movies. Of course, it's like the same universe. And actually, I'm not really much of a Star Trek fan from the series. I mean, I never watched the original series. I only watched like the Star Trek new movies, like the one with Chris Pine, because I love Chris Pine and I love the movies, so I want to give it a try. Also because the main character is like Sonica Martin Green, and she's like from The Walking Dead, and that's why I want to give the show a try. And it's actually a really good show. It's like sometimes confusing a bit if you don't know really like the Star Trek fanatic. It's definitely worth to watch because it's so different. First of all, the main character, because in Star Trek it's always like guys, but like the first time it's a woman, and she's a African American even. So yeah, I think that's why it's kind of so really famous, this show, because it's like something different. She's like a powerful woman character who's also got flaws, not perfect. The next show that I watched is Ratchet. I never finished it yet. It's kind of so dark and twisted, so I always need a break from it. Anyway, if you're into American Horror Story, then you probably will like the show. It's like also from Ryan Murphy. He also did The Politician, which also Netflix, and I also watched but not finished yet. And then like the Hollywood, I never even started it. And then of course Glee, everyone knows about. And it's a suspenseful drama series. It's also adapted by the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which I never watched, but I heard it's pretty dark and twisted, like the show. Anyway, it's about this nurse who's called Mildred Ratchet, and she's working at the psychiatric hospital. And it kind of gave me a silent vibe from American Horror Story, also because the same actress. And some of the other characters are also from American Horror Story. And yeah, so she's sitting like a psychiatric hospital, some weird experience going on over there. It's like experience going through the human mind, so don't watch it if you're not a horror fan, because it's kind of pretty graphic in my opinion. So I never finished this one yet, but unfortunately I will finish it. And also one of the main characters is a Filipino. He's the boss from the hospital. He's like the working there, and it's funny because his last name is Dr. Hanover, and Hanover is a city in Germany, but spelled with one N. I mean, his last name is spelled with one N, but it's actually two N. It's just so funny, but I never knew that he's Filipino, but I mentioned it on the show a couple of times. So yeah, shout out to all the Filipinos out there. And yeah, because I think it's like hiding in the show, it's like hiding from someone, that's why they changed his name, I think. So yeah, go give it a try. So number 4 is Clone Wars season 2, and like I watched the show, I started like last year, and I'm kind of so I'm only season 2, and because of Mandalorian, it was finished last year right in December. I want to watch Star Wars. I kind of miss it, especially I don't want to spoil anything, especially the ending of Mandalorian season 2. I really want to watch Star Wars again, so I rewatched all the movies, and then now I'm all done with the movies. I still want to watch this show because I know it's kind of canon also. It's kind of connected with the movies and the series also. That's why I want to watch it. And the main reason I want to watch the show is because one person from Clone Wars suddenly came in The Mandalorian, and I want to mention which person. That's why it's like, oh my god, it's like really connected. I didn't know. I thought it's only for kids because it's like animated one, and then I didn't know it was such a big deal. But I think to fully understand Mandalorian, you need to watch Clone Wars also. Only if you're a fan, of course, you don't need to watch it. But it's kind of, I'm really intrigued in the show now and really want to know what's going on, because it's like between it's after Attack of the Clones from the prequels. It's kind of between there because like the Clone Wars started, right? And of course before Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader. So yeah, it's kind of pretty interesting for me. And of course also Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda, other Jedi is gonna be on the show. It's so interesting to know more about them because in movies you really don't know much about them. So yeah, I'm so slow, just like season 7 I think, so I'm gonna be finishing this one for sure before Mandalorian comes out, because Mandalorian will come out next year, so have time for that. So the last show that I watched this month is WandaVision. Of course only started, so now it's like 4 episodes out. Of course I already did reviews about it, so if you want to check out my reviews, check this one here out. I do WandaVision reviews of each episode, so I'm gonna be talking so much about it. But beware, it's not spoiler free. And it's about these 2 MCU characters, Wanda and Vision. Of course they both have powers and they live in this ideal suburban life and kind of blend in with sitcom. On to the movie, I watched like 11 movies in total. I think like more than 11 because I watched like all the Star Wars movies. This year it started with Rogue One until Rise of the Skywalker, and I'm gonna be doing a separate video about Star Wars movies ranking, so I'm gonna be talking so much about it. So guys, have to wait for the next video. So the next movie on the list is In Her Shoes, and this one came out 2005 and just found it on Netflix. I already watched this before, and Cameron Diaz is in this movie. I like her movies because she has like great stuff. It's about this irresponsible party girl. Her name is Maggie, and then she got kicked out of her father's house and her stepmother's, and then her sister Rose, who's a lawyer, took her in. But then she's kind of played with her love life and ruined something there, and so her sister also kind of kicked her out. So then later on she's gonna find a grandma who she never knew existed, but she found some letters that her stepmom hid from her. She's gonna find out about some family secrets that she didn't know. And yeah, it's kind of drama kind of movie. The next movie is a pretty new one. This one came out last year and it's called Enola Holmes. And actually I'm not really much of a fan of Sherlock. I know there's like a series out there like called Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch. And then there's like a movie, Sherlock Holmes, of course, with Robert Downey Jr. And both of them are now in Marvel. Anyway, so I just want to check it out. I also like the actress, she's like 11 from Stranger Things. And of course Sam Claflin, who's pretty much annoying even though I like the actor. And then of course Henry Cavill, who plays Superman. Yeah, so anyway, it's about this girl, Enola Holmes, who's of course the younger sister of Sherlock Holmes. And she looks for her mother who goes missing. And then she's like super smart, also skillful like her brother, and kind of outsmarts him. And then along the way she meets a guy who's like a runaway lord, and she's the one gonna help him. I think there's a reason she got out there, to kind of help this guy and finding herself out there also, because in this time it's like of course based in old times. It's like girls are not relevant, and she's like, so her other brother, so I got the name of the mean one, he's like so mean to her and thinking she shouldn't be like her brother or something like that. So the movie was just okay. It's not really my cup of thing, I think, my opinion, but I think it's just popular because of the actors in it, because they're kind of popular actors. So number 4 is called Cello Hall, and this one came out in 2001, and it's with Jack Black. I already watched the movie before. It's kind of fun one, not to take seriously, kind of comedy. Anyway, it's about this guy who's like so shallow. He only likes girls who are like pretty, and just think about like girls being so perfect. Only looking for girls who have good looks, not like her personality or something like that. And then he meets like a self-guru kind of guy who's thinking he's so shallow and kinda hypnotizes him. It's kind of magical also, because in the next day suddenly, and now he sees girls who are like unattractive or called ugly, but suddenly they're pretty to his eyes because of their personality. Before he wouldn't see that, because he always looking in just looks, something like that. It didn't age well. They make it out like they make some ugly girls. They're not even real girls, because I know they make them ugly, because not girls look like that. They don't look like that at all. I know, it's like so weird at some point. Anyway, it's just like, don't take it too serious. It's just a comedy one because Jack Black is in it. Oh, the next one is Big Trouble in Little China. This one came out in 1986 and it's from John Carpenter, which I never heard of. And I want to check it out because I like movies from the 80s, but this one was kind of crazy and bizarre. I don't know. I didn't happen to enjoy this because I haven't been really into this movie, and I know I didn't understand it that much. So the main character is Kurt Russell, who plays Jack Burton, and he's caught in a conflict within and underneath like the Chinatown in San Francisco. And then there's like a Chinese prince and then Chinese crime lord who's kidnapped a woman who's the fiance of his best friend, something like that. And they're looking for a girl with green eyes. And of course Jack helps out to rescue the girl. And then there's like a Lo Pan, who's like the crime lord, I think, and he needs a girl with green eyes to break his curse, and because he looks like so old and he wants to stay immortal, something like that. It's just so crazy, this movie. And as I said, I don't quite understand it so much, and I watched it like late in the evening. I don't really recommend you to watch this movie. It's not really worth it, I think, in my opinion. Number 6 movie that I watched is We Can Be Heroes, and my friend recommended it to me, and I thought, why not give it a try, because Pedro Pascal is in this movie. He's from The Mandalorian, and yeah, I didn't know also it was like the director from Spy Kids, Robert Rodriguez. But Shark Boy and Lava Girl in this movie is the same girl from the movies, but Tyler Lautner didn't come back for this movie. That's why he was hiding his face all the time. They have a child now, and then there's of course alien invaders who kidnap their parents, and now it's like up to the kids to save the parents and to save the world. And of course it's like a superhero movie. And I said, just for kids, I didn't enjoy it that much because I feel like I'm too old for this movie. But I'm sure if you're a kid and wanna watch this, it's so fun. So number 7 on the list is 127 Hours, and James Franco is in this one. I already watched the movie before. It's like from a book called A Walk in a Hard Place. I never read this, but it's like a true story and they made it into a movie. So anyway, this guy, Aaron Walston, he's like an adventurer. He likes to hike and stuff like that, but at some point something happens like he never expected at all, because he always do things like that. A boulder falls on his arm, so he got stuck there, and then he got like stuck for 5 days, and he's thinking, deciding what to do. Should you like amputate his arm, or should you like die there in the boulder? It's like a survival movie kind of thing, like what will you do in lands to survive. And yeah, and I always like survival movies. They're interesting for me, how people like survive. It's like a true story, which I find incredible. Like, can you imagine someone go through like that? And yeah, if you like this kind of movies, go give it a try. It's like from 2010. So the next movie on the list is The Italian Job, and I never watched this one before. I just wanted to watch something on Netflix, and then I happened to be coming across this one. And I think it's like a famous movie before. I don't know, because like a big A list of actors. And yeah, anyway, it's about this heist that goes wrong in Venice. Like Steve, he betrays partners because he wants the gold for himself. And he's played by no other than Ed Norton. And then he kills like the safecracker in the group, who's played by Donald Sutherland. And then the leader of the group, Charles, who's played by Mark Wahlberg. And then there's also Rob, played by Jason Statham. And then there's like a guy called Left Ear, which I don't know. And then and tech guru Seth Green. They want to revenge their partner's death. They enlist the help of Charlize Theron's character, who plays the daughter of John Bridger, and to get the gold back from him and to kind of avenge her father's death, something like that. So it's like action filmed, if you like kind of action movies. So actually most of the movies that I watch I like rewatch. I always like to watch movies again than watch new movies. Doesn't make any sense. So the next movie is Pokemon Detective Pikachu that came out in 2019. I only watched it when it came out in the cinemas. And I really liked this one. Of course, I was a Pokemon fan as a kid. I always liked the movies also. I always liked Digimon more than Pokemon, but still I was a fan. So when this movie came out, I was like, first I didn't believe it. Oh my god, really? There's a movie of Pokemon? Like real life movie, I mean. Ace Detective Henry Goodman goes missing, and then his son Tim gonna find out what happened to his father, like how he died. Meet up with his father's partner, Pokemon, and it's Pikachu, who's like the best Pokemon out there. Comment down below who's your favorite Pokemon. I think Pikachu's like so rare. I think no one has him. They joined forces. It's because Tim can actually speak with Pikachu. I think because there was like a smoke or something that he inhaled. And somehow Pikachu can speak, which is so adorable. And Ryan Reynolds is the voice of Pikachu. So it was so funny to me because he's like Deadpool, right? And then he talks like a cute little Pokemon. So I think they did a pretty good job. I don't know what other people think of it. I don't even know if people like this one, like the die-hard fans of Pokemon. But I always like Mewtwo. It's kind of like the Pokemon movie with Mewtwo also, right? I always liked this one as a child. So you're hoping maybe there's gonna be part 2. I don't know, let's see. So the next movie on the list is The Fifth Element. And this one came out in 1997. And I'm really not sure if I watched it before, but it feels like a vivid dream that I watched this because it seems like familiar, but at the same time it's not. I don't know, do you get that sometimes? Or like, I think I'm confusing it with another movie. It's like about aliens. I don't know, really thinking about it, if I watch it or not. Like my sister said there was like a game in PS1. The same title or something. I don't know, because first time I watched it, feels like the first time watching it. At the same time, it seems familiar. The main character is Corbin Dallas, who's played by Bruce Willis. He's like a New York cab driver, and then suddenly an alien woman like falls into his cab suddenly, and she's like played by Mila Jovovich. And she's like an alien, but of course looks like a human because they can change to look like normal, something like that. Then they need her because she needs to bring all the elements together, and she's the only one who can do that to keep like the world from destroyed by the great evil. Of course, her name is Lilo, and she's gonna be working together with Bruce Willis' character and some other people to fight the evil villain named Dog, who's played by Gary Oldman. So actually, the movie was not bad. I don't know why I don't remember it anymore. But it's like about aliens, and yeah, I think if you like sci-fi aliens kind of movies, give it a try. So the last movie on the list, and it's the best one on the list, and the best movie I watched so far, it's like from last year, and it's called Love and Monsters. I don't think you heard about it because I think it was popular when it came out. It's so good because it's like so original. I love the originality in this one. It's not based on a book, it's not based on any comic, it's not based on anything, that's why I like this idea. It's like so new and something so entirely different than I've ever seen. Really, I'm not exaggerating. It's so good in my opinion. So it's a big budget movie, but the actors are not that known in my opinion. They're like Hollywood actors. No Leonardo DiCaprio, no Tom Cruise, or no Brad Pitt. I think it depends on what you like to watch. For me, example, I know all of the actors. They're like more TV shows kind of actors, like Dylan O'Brien, who's like from Teen Wolf and Maze Runner. And then Jessica Henwick, who's like from Marvel, Iron Fist, which was such a fail because no one really liked this show, even though I've been enjoying this show. So anyway, this is done. And then Michael Rooker, who's like from The Walking Dead, no other than. And then of course have some other movies like Guardians of the Galaxy, Slither, many movies actually. So basically, if you know James Gunn and if you're a fan of him, then you know Michael Rooker because he's almost like in any movie that that he made. He's always in it. So anyway, it's like 7 years after monster apocalypse happened, and only like infected those like amphibians, like frogs and other insects, stuff like that. It's just so creepy if you don't like these kind of things. And they're like so giant, and they took over the world. So the rest of the humanity, they're like living underground to be safe. And for me, it's like horror because I really hate bugs, and bugs are like usually small, but can you imagine they're kind of big? That is more scary. So anyway, after he reconnected with his girlfriend from high school, Amy, he wanted to go out to find her because he has something going on in the underground. So he wanted to go out there, even though he never went out there because he's like more of a cook than a survivor. So he still decided to go out there to find his girl. So he goes out there and finds a dog, and his name is Boy. It also reminds me of The Walking Dead because Daryl has a dog named Dog. So every time I call him Dog, then Boy. And it's so funny also because his weapon of choice is also arrows. It's just and then also Merce in this movie. And I mean, it's Michael Rooker. It's like his brother. Just kidding. Anyway, and then he's like the cutest ever because the dog is so cute, and I was like rescue him, and they rescue each other. And then of course he found also 2 other survivors, Michael Rooker and a little girl. And yeah, they kind of give him pointers on how to survive because they've been out for a while and they know how to survive, and he doesn't. So because of their pointers, he kind of know how to survive out there in the world, because he still go out on his way alone because they go in other direction, and he goes alone and still surviving out there with all these monsters roaming around. So that was it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. Maybe gave you some ideas what to watch for. Please give a thumbs up if you do enjoy this one. Comment down below what are the movies that you watched or something, or what you want to watch this year. Maybe can give me some ideas what I also can watch. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see me again. Don't forget to put on the post notifications so exactly on upload. I upload every Wednesdays and Saturdays. And see you guys next time. Bye.